Hello and welcome to Let's Go, a Visit Perry podcast recorded in the heart of historic downtown Perry, Georgia. I'm your tour guide, Anya Turpin, and on today's episode, we are joined with Autumn and Andrea to learn more about the Pour Tour coming up as a part of the brand new Bites and Beats Festival hosted on Saturday, September 12th in historic downtown Perry. Grab your planner because this event is going to have you saying, let's go.
I am Autumn Cameron. I'm the Special Events Administrator for the City of Perry, and I am planning and executing the Perry Bites and Beats Festival.
My name is Andrea Smith. I am the Sales Manager for Fall Line Brewing Company throughout the state of Georgia.
Well, thank you both so much for being here. Autumn, this is your third time, I think, being on the podcast with us. And we had you not too long ago, just a couple short weeks ago, to talk about the Bites and Beats Festival. And if you haven't listened to that episode yet and you're wondering what the Bites and Beats Festival is, we're going to talk briefly about it today, but we definitely recommend going and listening to that first podcast where we deep dive into what exactly this new event is, because today we're going to be talking about something a little bit more specific, a micro event that is taking place within the Bites and Beats Festival. So Autumn, what are we talking about, and can you kind of introduce us to this new concept?
We are talking about the Pour Tour, which, like you said, is a micro event inside the festival. And it's a ticketed event that's going to raise money for the Lasting Note Project, which is a green initiative that I'm starting at this festival, where we build in little things that can generate some funds to do green initiatives throughout the city of Perry. And guests and attendees can purchase tickets to get 15 beer tastings.
The Pour Tour, where did this idea come from? Because this is Bites and Beats Festival's first year, and you're already adding really cool extra elements to it. So how did you get inspired for the Pour Tour specifically?
So I did something like this at the last air show that I did before I moved to Middle Georgia. And one of the distributors there partnered with me to do a beer garden. And I was like, oh, that would be something would be really awesome to add to a music festival. And that's kind of where my gears started turning. And then I was talking to Jody at Bodega Brew, and she was like, oh, you should reach out to Fall Line and see if they can do it. That's where it started.
And so Jody connected you with Fall Line, and now we've got Andrea with us. So when Autumn first reached out about this Pour Tour, how did you guys at Fall Line feel about it, and what brought you guys into the project?
Fall Line Brewing Company is located in downtown Macon, and we're really excited to be coming just down the road for the Beats and Bites here at Perry. Fall Line, we really pride ourselves in brewing beer that can appeal to just about anyone. We have our core lineup, which is approachable, easy drinking beers, but the brew team also likes to get a little creative. We constantly experimenting with different styles, seasonal flavors, and limited releases.
So when I started our conversation with Fall Line, it was in the form of a sponsorship, and Fall Line agreed to an in-kind sponsorship of the beer for the beer tasting experience. And then that money that we make on ticket sales will go to the Lasting Note.
So Autumn, you've talked a little bit about the Pour Tour. I think you've already mentioned that there's 15 samplings of beer, but kind of take us back, to very square one. What exactly is this Pour Tour pass? What can people anticipate with this experience? Are they going to have to pick up some type of a ticket, or is there a specific cup involved? Kind of give us the walkthrough.
Okay. So yes, with a ticket, you will be required to check in. And obviously, because it is an alcohol related activity, you will have to show your ID to show that you're above the age of 21.
Got to be 21.
And with that, you get a commemorative branded tasting cup. And then you also have a keepsake lanyard and pass. And then you also get to use the air conditioned bathrooms at the patio.
And that alone is worth the ticket, friends, because it's September in Georgia. You never know what you're going to get.
I would pay $50 for that.
It's going to be perfect, sunny, high of 75. We're manifesting it, but just in case. Yes. Never hurts to have that air conditioning.
It does not.
The pass itself, is this a limited thing? Is there only so many that are being sold? Do people need to urgently do this, or can they get it day of?
Pour Tour passes are available online through the Bites and Beats Festival website. And I wouldn't say wait until September 12th to get your pass, because they are limited. Once they're gone, they're gone.
Where is this going to be taking place? Because the festival itself is going to be in historic downtown Perry, kind of over the course of several different blocks. But if someone's looking to participate in the Pour Tour, are they physically walking around the entire event looking for beer? Is it all in one central location? What's the venue look like?
It is in one central location.
Sweet.
It is the Corner Social on Carroll Street, and that's where check-in will be. That's where you'll get your 15, and you're not You don't have to get them all at once.
Okay.
You can come back throughout the day.
Kind of take us back. You mentioned that Jody, who owns Bodega Brew in historic downtown Perry, we're going to shout Jody out. If you haven't visited there, definitely go. They've got some great trivia nights, activities, everything from like painting nights to I think they've had yoga in there, which is so wild because that space when you walk in, you don't think of yoga, but they do it all there. And then of course they've just got really good made from scratch pastries, lunches, and of course lots of great beers and drinks on the menu too. So shout out to Jody, but it sounds like she's the one that got you all connected. But let's talk a little bit about the partnership. What exactly is the role that Fall Line is going to be playing in this experience?
So when I imagined the beer garden, I wanted to partner with a local brewery or a local distributor. I just think that when you're doing something like this and you're creating that feel, that it's best to stay local. So we were looking for the right brewery to partner with, and I wanted it to be local. I didn't want it to feel just like a beer tent.
Sure.
Because you can get that anywhere.
Yeah.
And so I wanted it to be an actual experience, and I have been to Fall Line before. I like the vibe of Fall Line, and I love their beers. I'm a beer fan myself. So I thought they had a strong selection of beer. They could offer a lot more variety than just, your typical distributor. And it's a little bit more personalized, I feel like, because it's local.
We've always enjoyed being involved in events throughout Middle Georgia, and Perry has such a great community and does such a fantastic job with their downtown events. When the opportunity came up for Fall Line to be involved with the Bites and Beats and the beer garden, it felt like a really natural fit for us. So you already have great food, music, and people coming together downtown, and craft beer fits perfectly into that experience.
The pass includes 15 craft beer tastings. Can we talk a little bit today about what kinds of beers the participants can expect? Because I know that question is going to come up as people are thinking, is this something I want to participate in? So what will the selection look like in terms of, experienced craft beer fans and people who are still kind of figuring out what they like?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is probably one of the things that I'm most excited about, because 15 tastings give people an opportunity and a chance to really explore Fall Line's lineup. So we'll be bringing a mixture of our mainstay beers, seasonal releases, and some of our more limited offerings. When it comes to craft beer, there should be plenty for you to get excited about. But I also think that it's a really great event for someone who might say, I'm not really a craft beer person, or I only drink one particular style. The tasting format gives you the opportunity to step outside of your comfort zone without committing to an entire pint.
Raising my hand here off screen, I'm not a beer person, but this does sound very interesting because it is the perfect opportunity to try some things. Can we kind of back up and tell me what a mainstay is? And I'm probably going to sound crazy, but I hope there's at least one listener out there who's also as confused as I am.
Yeah, absolutely. So mainstay beers are just our core flagship beers. So they're the 5 beers that are in the market year round.
Okay.
So you traditionally have lagers, your IPA, wheat beer, those different styles that are just available year round.
Cool. So you're going to have some that are year round. Are there going to be any, unique ones, maybe some seasonal, some limited release beers that guests could be expecting to try while they're participating in the Pour Tour?
So we will have some limited releases and seasonals depending on what availability we have at that time. There may be a couple that I'll try to sneak in off the tap wall, can some to have something a little bit even different. But yeah, super excited about people trying different.
I want to give props to Fall Line for making this happen, because they are also the beer distributor for Mercer football game, and Mercer football has a home game that same day. So at first we were like, I don't know if this is going to work, if we can make this happen, and they made it happen. So props to them for that.
So we talked a lot about the beer side. Obviously, we're discussing the Pour Tour today, but for people who are already familiar with the Bites and Beats Festival, a huge part of this, where that Bites portion comes from, is this festival is going to be centered around creative food. So are there any dishes or flavors or even food vendors that you guys feel might pair well with this Pour Tour event and the Fall Line selections?
I'm not going to give anything away, because our
you didn't give anything away last time. I was hoping second time around we could get some more out of you.
With our exclusive menu items, those are going to be found out the day of. There will be signage and stuff all over the festival that has those menus on there. But what I will say is, you might find a beer that you love and then find that perfect festival food to go with it. I don't think there's like one perfect pairing, but it's a festival. So if you have a beer and you find something fried, cheesy, covered in sauce that tastes good, I call it a success.
Beer and festival food are pretty great combination to begin with because we're bringing such a variety of great beer styles. People are going to have a lot of opportunities to play around with the pairings throughout the event. So I don't think anyone needs to overthink it. Grab something that looks good from one of the food vendors, grab a fall line tasting, and see what works together. Very similar to what you're saying. It's all about having fun at the event.
So we did kind of talk about this whole pour tour is going to be centered around the Corner Social. And so that's going to be kind of your home base for this event. Is it designed to be, someone should just come and knock out all 15, or should they kind of come and go throughout the day? How do you recommend somebody do this?
It's designed to kind of be at your own pace. We didn't want people to have to stop what they were doing at the festival to come to a scheduled tasting. So you can stop in, check in, get your first tasting, go find some food, get your spot on the lawn to watch the performances, watch a few performances and come back. So you can really spread that 15 tastings out throughout the day.
What's most exciting about the Bites and Beats is you get to have great food, live music, craft beer, and a chance to spend the day in downtown Perry. We're super excited to be a part of it, and we're looking forward to seeing everyone out there.
But you mentioned that obviously we're talking about beer. You need to be 21 or over to purchase a ticket. We talked a little bit about ticket availability. This is a limited number. People should definitely be signing up right now. As soon as they're done listening to this podcast, we will have the sign up link in the podcast description. But what else should guests know? Any other insider tips from the people who are behind the project themselves?
Your pass includes 15 tastings, but the idea is to really enjoy the tastings at your own pace throughout the festival. And with that, we want everyone to have fun, but obviously we want you to do it responsibly too.
Yeah.
So make sure that, if you need a ride home, you have a ride home, and that you're doing it safe, eat food, drink water, all of the things.
Yeah. And also, I'm going to take a personal Visit Perry pitch right here. Stay in one of our local hotels. We've got trusted brands that you're familiar with, but you do have a specific hotel partner for this event. So let's give them a shout out.
Yeah, the Hilton Garden Inn in Perry is partnering with the festival and offering special festival rates for booking. So if you're coming from out of town, or even if you're a local, this is a perfect excuse for a staycation.
Yeah.
You get to go to a music festival, enjoy some beer, enjoy some food, and then stay at a local hotel.
So Autumn, you mentioned kind of at the top of the podcast that this is a fundraiser, this Pour Tour pass. The festival itself is free. Obviously, if the Pour Tour is not something that you want to participate in, still come out and enjoy the festival. But for the Pour Tour, this is a fundraiser. And I think you mentioned this is kind of a green initiative or some type of eco-friendly initiative. Curious minds want to know, what are you talking about?
Yeah, so obviously green initiatives throughout festivals have skyrocketed. You have Coachella that does their paper straws and all of the things.
Never heard of it, no.
And so I was like, you know what? I want to do that here too, because we don't have any green initiatives that we incorporate into our festivals. So this specific fundraiser is going to go towards the Lasting Note project, and it will continue on through years, and it will be implemented in different festivals as well. But the money that we're raising will go towards planting trees in some of the parks in the city of Perry, along with other green initiatives that we have coming.
So in closing, just a couple of final questions. We want to talk about the details of the pass itself. So what are the costs? And then for those 15 samples, what are the pour sizes?
Yeah, so the tickets are priced at $30, and you can find the link to purchase on our website. They will be receiving 15 4-ounce pours. You really are getting a deal.
So that comes out to around 4 beers roughly for $30. That is a steal. In closing, I want to make sure that our listeners know where to get information, not just on the Pour Tour and the Bites and Beats Festival, but also about Fall Line Brewery, about the city of Perry, and all the fantastic events and things that are happening. So Autumn, kick us off with where they can learn more about City of Perry, and then we want to learn how they can learn more about Fall Line.
Yeah, you can learn online at perry-ga.gov or on social media, the City of Perry government page.
Awesome.
Yeah, we have our website. It's falllinebrewingco.com. Don't forget the third L. Everybody forgets it. We update our Facebook and Instagram pretty often with new releases, new events, and everything we have going on. So be sure to follow us.
So Autumn, I know I said that we're wrapping it up, but there is another element to this brand new festival. You just keep surprising us with more and more cool things in this brand new festival. But you've mentioned that there is going to be some type of a collectible limited edition item that people can look forward to. So can you give us, I know you can't tell us all the food secrets, but what is this thing that you're talking about?
Yeah, so we commissioned artwork from Heather Deloach at Paint with Lush Art, and she created a commemorative festival poster.
Cool.
And so, the idea came from every Dave Matthews show that you go to, he has a different poster. And I collected those for years. I probably had like 70 of them.
Did you say had?
Had.
Where'd they go?
Had. I lost them in a military move.
Oh,
so who knows where they went?
If you have Autumn's poster, please reach out.
Please return them. But yeah, so I got that idea from there, and I was like, that would be awesome to do one every year for the festival and commission different local artists to create it. And so we started with Heather, and she did a phenomenal job, and they will be for sale at the festival only.
We are very excited. This festival is going to be fantastic. And thank you guys both so much for coming out today. We can't wait to see how the Pour Tour goes and how the overall experience goes. On behalf of everyone in Perry, thank you, Fall Line, for coming down and investing in our community, not just for this festival, but for all the small businesses that you support. Perry definitely loves to eat, and Perry loves to drink. So you keep a lot of us very happy.
Absolutely.
So, thank you both so much.
Thanks.
So let's go get our tickets to the Pour Tour. You can learn more about the Pour Tour as well as the Bites and Beats Festival by following the City of Perry on Facebook and Instagram at City of Perry GA or visiting their website, perry-ga.gov. We have also included the link for the tickets and the official Bites and Beats website in the podcast description. Thanks for tuning in to the Let's Go podcast, brought to you by the Perry Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. Recorded in the heart of historic downtown Perry, inside the Perry Welcome Center, we hope that you found today's conversation helpful as you plan your participation in the Pour Tour.